Um, right? Baby, these filler words be tearing us up. I'm Dr. Ashley Gaddy Robbins, a stage ready coach and your speaker cousin. You may have saw the post I made about the top 5 filler words that we use. Well, today we're going to go over the alternatives. What do we do to stop using filler words? Listen, filler words are normal. We're going to use them in our everyday language. The thing is we be using them too much. So let's go to the flip chart and let's talk about how we can do some alternative options. Okay, first up, that first one, the most common, um, baby, we will till the sun goes down. What this really is though is your brain going fast. So it is trying to catch up with all the things that you were thinking about. So while your brain is trying to catch up, keeps coming. So what's the fix to Well, because is tied to speed, the fix is to pause. We want to give the brain time to catch up. And trust me, a quiet pause is better than a noisy And trust me when I tell you, the ums get annoying. People gonna be like, okay, get your point out, okay. So not only is the pause good for you to catch up on your mind, for real, it's also helping out the listener who is just really being appreciative of the pause. Take a deep breath. Let's breathe. Breath, pause, minimize the speed, eliminate the Next up, like. So yeah, and so I was saying yeah, it's like, you remember that time when we so what I'm trying to say is like, we use to buy time. That's a clock. To buy time. We really are trying to soften what we want to say, or we're really just trying to buy time and it becomes unclear and unconcise. You really are taking people on an adventure. Tick, 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 tick. But see, the thing about is when you're trying to buy time, we begin to run out of time. And then it sounds like you may not know what you're talking about when in reality you actually do. So what's the fix? You ready? For example, is the lead in to go ahead and share the thought or the story that you already have and already know. For example, makes you seem clear and concise. You are leading in the listener to be ready to take in what you know you have. It replaces the You don't have to buy time because you're setting up the story or setting up the next thing. Or for real, just stop. End the sentence with a period. Your point is already clear and concise, probably already. So you don't even have to take us on a journey. You can just complete the sentence. Number 3, this is really popular in the academy and in workspaces. Baby, we love, right? So the data shows, that we really need to be looking at this, right? Okay, you're right. The thing is that this word continues over and over again, and it becomes a sense of looking for approval and validation. By putting a question mark and asking it as a question, we are really looking for that audience to really be shaking their head or really be giving it to us. We feel that we need the approval or the validation or the energy from the audience in order to be right. Plot twist, you write without their approval. Plot twist, you don't need their permission. Plot twist, you are right because you're the person who studied it. It's your data. It's your presentation. You're the one who stayed up all night working on it. So you are already right. What's the fix? Say the thing and let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Like Kirsten Ferguson on Peloton says, let it go like Elsa, honey. You are already right. You've already done the prep work. You don't need permission to be a speaker. You don't need approval. Say the thing, let it go, move on to the next point. You got it. Next up, number 4, you know. You know, you know, you know. We use you know when we are unclear. And so we are really asking the audience, because we may not be clear on what we may be saying. And so it's a filler word, again, another kind of approval or validation word, because we want to make sure that we are clear. We want to make sure that we sound concise. And so, mostly as a question mark, feeds its way in, because that lack of clarity, we may feel like there's a lack of clarity. There may not be a lack of clarity at all, but we feel that there is. And so we have to say, you know, you know, here's the fix. When you feel unclear, another alternative is saying, here's what I mean. When you say, here's what I mean, you bring the audience along with you. You sound direct. You sound warm. You may very well be unclear. But when you say, here's what I mean, instead of saying, when you say, here's what I mean, it is an open invitation for us to come along with you, for you to tell us what you actually mean. Because again, if you're speaking, interviewing, talking, whatever, you probably have the knowledge in that brain. But from your brain to your mouth, it gets a little squiggly. When you say, here's what I mean, it gets time for your brain to catch up to the knowledge you already have. And it takes us on a journey with you so you can tell us exactly what you mean. And last but not least, number 5, sort of, kind of. For real, y'all, when we say sort of, kind of, sort of, these type of filler words really do kind of put our message in a gray zone. For real, it can come off as if we don't know what we're talking about, because it's kind of saying, do you know? Do you have the authority? Like, do you actually know what you're talking about? If we're talking about sort of, kind of, sort of, kind of, and let me tell you something, this is even coming down to like food choices. I know my man be like, make your decision. Okay? You be like, kinda, sorta, kinda, I don't really know. This really puts us in the gray. Folks don't like to be in a gray when it comes to communication. They want clear, concise communication, clear messages, because it usually leads us to some form of action. But when you say sort of, kind of, it puts you in this gray zone. Here's the fix. Literally, just say, what I'm saying is, I promise you, what I'm saying is, we'll let them know, oh, well, tell me what you're saying, because you clearly know what you're talking about. It takes the audience from that gray zone and giving you your power, your agency, your knowledge, and your authority back as the speaker to say, what I'm saying is, and then you tell them exactly what you're saying. This brings back your power. That's supposed to be a muscle like that. Okay, clearly y'all can see. Handwriting is not good, but you get the point. You get the point. There are alternatives for using these filler words that we can activate that are very, very simple for us to have clear, concise messages. Listen, the number one thing that I coach speakers on is it does not have to be perfect, but it needs to be honest. And this is why we can practice eliminating some of our filler words, because we really do have an honest thing to say. Are we going to mess up sometimes? Sure. Are we going to use a filler word here or there? Absolutely. But we can use these tools to have honest communication and audience connection to really drive our point home. If this was helpful, let me know in the comments. I have a free 30-second confidence reset download that you can also have. And if you're like, I need to be stage ready, sis, go ahead, sign up for my Stage Ready workshop, and I will get you authentically, confidently ready in your body, in your voice, and your message to connect with audiences. So y'all come on back for these speaker tips, this speaker teaching from your speaker cousin. I holla. Peace.